So I don't know if anybody else saw this, but recently I saw a casting announcement for a biopic about Sylvester Stallone playing Rocky. And this is crazy, right? I mean, this is a movie being made about one guy playing another guy playing another guy. Like, this is getting to levels of meta, I guess. I don't know. It's very recycled, you know? And I think so much of our modern culture is that, right? It feels like there is a lack of originality in so many things now. Everything is based off of something. Everything's a reboot. And it's not good. I guess that's probably the coldest take ever imaginable, right? I feel like if you go back to like the 80s, right? If you look at the movies that came out in the 80s, you had a lot of original or loosely based off books. A lot of the stuff, I will say, back then, I don't want to revise history here, was like loosely based off a novel or something like that. You know, like a lot of people would refer to Jurassic Park as being like a classic movie that Spielberg came up with. That's based off a book, but like at a point it does become its own thing, you know? So I'm gonna refer to a lot of these properties as original. I mean, even past Jurassic Park, you had things like Terminator, you had things like Blade Runner and Predator. All these things coming out that were new, they were original, and they became iconic. They fully became iconic. I'm gonna challenge you to something. This is something I was thinking about the other day. Either a friend asked me this or I saw it online, somebody said it, like a tweet or something. Name for me the last original movie character that became iconic. Not based off a comic or something like that, right? Because I'd say like Iron Man kind of became super iconic in the last like 10 years, right? Whereas like before, I mean, Iron Man was kind of like, you know, people wouldn't really know him compared to like Spider-Man or something, right? But that's not an original character. I'm talking fully original from the movies. Genuinely, and like I consider myself somebody who's into entertainment. Like obviously I'm always hopping on here being pretentious, being like I love art. But like into like movies and stuff I am too. Like I love pop culture, right? I can't think of one. I mean like I just can't at all. I can't think of a single recent character that became iconic. Maybe some of the new Star Wars characters, but even that is based off an established franchise. So, like, does that count, you know? And, like, let's not act like Kylo Ren became that iconic. Like, yeah, he, like, hit a moment there, but, like, I don't think there's anything, right? I don't think there's anything at all. And the reason I want to talk about all this is not just to sit here and complain, even though that could be very fun, is because I do feel that we're at kind of a weird point with this, where, like, everybody notices this now. Like, so much of the discourse around the new Paul Thomas Anderson movie, One Battle After Another, was based around, like, oh, I'm so glad that an original screenplay is doing well, right? Like, when I mentioned, like, my parents or, like, people in my family aren't people who, like, go to the movies often and see a movie, right? But I remember when I mentioned this movie to them last time I saw them, they were like, oh, that does sound cool. Like, I'll have to watch that, right? Even though they had really no interest in the subject matter of it. They were just like, that's cool that a new action movie's out there. I want to go see it, right? And I think this shift, for me, is representative of a shift in attitude. I think a shift in attitude that's come from almost everybody noticing this. Like, everybody being like, oh, where are all the original things? I mean, especially I'd assume, and I mean, I've never truly sat down and talked to anybody in my life about this, but I would assume, especially if you were around in the 80s, you're probably looking around today like, wow, like where'd everything go? You know, how many movie studios are making new things? And I will say, I feel like it's kind of a red herring, but somebody's gonna say it. I'm aware One Battle After Another is loosely based off of a Thomas Pynchon novel. From what I understand, though, it's very different. Like, I've never read the novel, but from what I understand, it's a very different novel from the movie. Like, I think it's more based off of like the back cover of the novel than really anything. I'm familiar that it's an original screenplay at least, right? So I think people are excited for that. I think that excitement tells me, maybe not tells me, but I can't help but look at that and be like, maybe this is a sign of where things are to go, right? Maybe this is a sign that there is a consumer appetite for new original things, and it just is going to be what the risk is to get those things out there, right? That's almost like, I don't want to refer to it as something to be capitalized on, but I think it's it has to be eventually, right? If there's this much of an appetite for it, it's only a matter of time until it comes along and gets filled. And I wonder, because I think part of this too is, like, the average budget for a movie nowadays is so much larger than it ever was back then, right? Like, if you're a studio, I think, like, obviously this is an extreme example, Avengers Endgame was like $400 million. If you're spending $400 million in a movie, you can't make bets, right? I think one battle after another, even though it's doing amazing, I've heard, I don't know if it's recouped its budget. Like, I understand that this comes from a real place of, like, there are, unfortunately, art, again, is subject to money, is kind of the situation we once again find ourselves in, a very common one, a very common predicament that we unfortunately always have to deal with here. So I understand why that's happening, and I think that's why I'm so interested in the question of, like, where is the new original work, right? Because I want to, like, there's part of me that wants to be super, like, a little abstract about this, maybe a little annoying, and be like, the new work is on YouTube, right? Like, the new work is on here, it's on TikTok, you know, like, I'd love to stroke my own ego and be like, this is the new work, you know, what I'm doing here is like a new thing. See, there's people with new ideas, and that's undeniably true, that, like, there are people all over the internet with new ideas making cool new things. But that doesn't change the fact that there is a desire for a new movie, right? It's not about making a new TikTok series or something like that. That's not what anybody's hungering for. They're hungry for new movies that are new TV shows, these new things. I guess TV shows actually, are TV shows as recycled as movies? I don't know. I don't watch a lot of TV, to be honest with you. Like, I know there's, like, a new series on Netflix that, like, everybody binges once a year, and it seems new to me, but I don't know anything about it because I never look into it. So I could be wrong about that, but definitely besides the point here. There's a hunger for this, and I can't help but ask, where will it come from, right? How will this desire be filled? And, you know, whether we want to say we could learn from that as an artist or not, I don't know. That's not really the point of this. Just, I think it's an interesting question. I can't help but wonder, there's, like, been this kind of talk for a while now about, like, oh, Hollywood is going to be infiltrated by social media people. Like it feels like once a year now, like, a YouTuber or a TikToker makes like a big budget movie, or they, like, get the attention of a studio and everybody's like, see, this is it happening. And one, it's been like 5 false starts now, so, like, we'll see, you know, like, I'll believe when I see it. But I wouldn't be surprised if that is where things end up going. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that is sort of the future here, because it does seem like that's a direction that has a lot of appeal to a lot of people, for sure. So will this gap be filled when we get social media people going into these more traditional institutions, if we want to call them that, and kind of overhauling what's being made in them? You know, I think that is a plausible answer to me, because I think that as much as, like, you know, we speak about these creators on social media, I do think that, like, for the average big creator, I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about, like, somebody who's, like, actually able to make something that people sustainably show up for and watch. We underestimate, like, how good they are at what they do. You need, like, a pretty uncanny ability to like, look around at the times and the audience and what people are feeling and create something, right? I would go as far as saying I think a good writer on TikTok, not just a TikToker, but a really great writer on TikTok, would probably be better at making an original screenplay that people want to show up for than anyone else, maybe? I don't know. Like, I'm willing to entertain that idea. I don't think it's the worst idea. So I can't help but ask, like, will these things converge? If they converge, will that be what we're looking for here as we all hunger for new IPs, new properties? And I guess above all, if not that way, because that's the only way I can think of, right? Because it's not just going to be, like, I don't like the idea that somebody's going to come along and just make, like, a really great movie, and everyone's going to go, all right, like, we're making original screenplays again. Like, if that was how this was going to happen, it would have happened already, you know? So I'm not going to entertain that idea, but I can't help but wonder, like, I believe this is going to have to happen due to a larger trend of sorts. What is that trend going to be? What's it going to look like? And, you know, obviously nobody can predict the future. That's one of the fun things about this. But I don't know. I can't help but be curious. So that's my question for you all today. How do you think this is going to happen? How do you think this is going to be solved? this is the painting today. Just going back in with these colors, wanted to get a really sharp shadow on that. That looks pretty good. It's all right. It's all right. It's an all right painting. Not too passionate about this one. I like these colors a lot, though. I like going in a lot with 3 colors and doing shapes. So go check this out on the TikTok and the Instagram. And until next time, guys, gals, and pals, my name is Max Dice. This is Paint Talk episode 297. I'm here every morning, painting and talking with you all.